Okay.
Jesus, look who's here.
We're here. This is getting the gang back, Peter. We're getting the gang back, Peter.
We're putting the band back together.
The band
There
is
you
back
go.
together.
The band is
well,
back.
seeing as we're just about as old as the Rolling Stones, not you, but these two here, as we discuss our blood pressure.
Have you been gathering moss?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Rolling Stone. No, we're Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Gators.
We were doing an organ recital where you recite.
I don't want to hear about your organ, Bob.
No.
And it's gone down already.
No. At any rate,
We've gone
nice
down.
to see you, Kenny. And I'm not going to
is
stay
nice
for
to
the
see
whole
Kenny.
show, but I really wanted to stop
Really,
by.
really?
Wee.
Wee. Bob, I've missed you.
Thank you.
have
I've been
missed
through
You have
some stuff. Yeah.
You have been through, and you scared everybody. We weren't happy about it.
I wasn't happy about it either, but I'm back. I'm alive and well. And Peter Coles. Well, I got to give a shout out to Peter Coles, Kenny, because Peter had helped me through. I was double medicated by mistake, and you got listen to my show.
I do that on purpose now.
A little bit of a different animal, though.
I had to talk to Peter soon after that, and I said, Pete, I can't. I got to deal with some stuff. He was so kind and nice to me. I thank you, Peter.
Peter is kind and nice.
No, he is.
When has Peter not been kind?
Well, we argue all the time, but
Well,
That's different.
yeah,
That's
different.
That's not. That's
Are you wearing two pairs of glasses around your neck right now?
Oh my God! What? Yeah, one.
I've had one on my head.
And are the lenses all the same too?
Look. Well, on the radio.
Are they
I've got-
they're stuck together?
They stick together.
Oh, jeez.
They're always magnetized.
I love
Holy
it.
mother.
How did you
did
get two pairs of glasses?
Well, I
on?
have two pairs. I have one.
How did you go his entire program without noticing that?
I was too busy with
Oh,
other
man.
stuff.
I had
too
I
busy.
had that one on, and then I went in the living room and I put the other one on.
Bob,
See, this is
I-
why I
no,
need
no,
a
no,
nurse
no,
at
no.
all times.
I've worn one on my face, on my eyes,
Yeah.
and had another one on my head. I do that
oh,
all
right,
the time.
okay.
I'll be walking around, and Terry will look at me and he'll go,
Two of everything,
for
but
your
don't take your
glasses.
pills twice.
No.
Don't you dare double up there, mister. You're looking
wait.
really good.
"Oh, Ken's here."
Yeah, Ken's
oh,
here.
hi, Ken.
Yeah.
Ken, what are you doing here?
He's
Funny
doing a
seeing you.
dent show. DEN.
Okay, we're going to be quiet.
Yeah, now we'll shut up.
We've had plenty of Kathy's Corner. We got to come up with a better name than Kathy's
Well,
Corner.
no, here's my thought.
I think one of them should be called Kathy, not Carol, and Carol,
Well,
not
that's
Kathy.
what we do, but I think that show, the entertainment show, and it's different than the other entertainment show you have on because it's not all theater. It's just things happening in Westfield.
It's like,
to
wow, it's
entertain
Tuesday
people.
in a little bit.
Sort of, but we'll do Stanley Park, we'll do the Park and Rec, we'll do the schools, local things. We have something planned for the next one that might involve wearing tutus. But anyway,
You'd look pretty good in a tutu.
I think that one we're just going to
A
call.
4-4 would we call it? No, maybe it's a 1-1 now.
What?
Since I've been
I'd need a
dieting.
5-5.
What?
5. You take a 1-1. You take -1-1. You little girl.
Yeah, I'm pretty hobbit sized.
All right, I need to take control here, Pete. Today
Oh.
is the 25th day of March in the year 2025 Anno Domini. This is the Den, Ken's Den.
The views expressed by the host during this monologue are sorely missed and are those solely
Says
of his
you.
own, not those of Westfield State University, the radio club, our underwriters, or all those people that had to put up with him on the cruise. And now,
There's a lot of pages here, Peter.
I know.
Welcome back to the show. It's great to be here. I think I'm supposed to be here. At least that's what my calendar says. But honestly, at this point, I have no idea what days I come into tape anymore because apparently, and I say apparently, I'm always on a cruise.
We noticed that.
We did notice that.
That's right. I don't even work here anymore. I just teleport in between buffets.
He just cruises in.
He's a figment of your imagination.
I'm like the Anthony Bourdain of cruise ships. If a new one comes out, I have to check it out. And if it sparks my joy, so be it.
I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Now, you think, I have to think back really hard. I think I've actually done one whole show since New Year's. One.
Probably,
One show
yeah.
here.
Yeah, that's almost a record.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the rumors have gotten so bad, I'm expecting my boss to email me like, hey, whenever you're back from your 6-month world voyage, we'd love to see you back here in the studio.
I think I've said that.
Listen, it's not my fault these cruise deals are too good. You know, I just got off the Sun Princess. And let me tell you, I thought I had accidentally checked myself into a senior living center. No joke. I've never seen so many scooters and walkers in my life.
Hang in there now. Wait a minute.
You know how when you're driving and there's one slow car in the fast lane and you're like, oh my God, just move. Oh my God, just move. That was every hallway on this ship.
Bob, he's talking about you and me.
2-minute walks? No. 5 minutes. 7-minute walks, maybe? Bring a snack, right? I walk out of my cabin one morning, and I swear to God, it was like a CVS pharmacy exploded. Pill organizers, compression socks, and orthopedic shoes as far as the eye could see.
Love my
People clutching onto the railings like they're scaling Mount Everest.
Oh.
And then I get to the main atrium, and what do I see? Carpet bowling. Carpet bowling.
Bowling.
Folks, we are at sea. We are cruising through the open ocean on a floating mega resort with a casino, a theater, and literally a water park. And they're over here rolling bocce balls at empty water bottles on carpet.
If I'd known that, I would have pulled the Wii bowling theme.
And let's talk about the onboard entertainment.
Okay.
The main event during Sea Days, the chicken dance.
Oh.
I wish I was making this up. The same people who claim they can't stand up for too long suddenly have the stamina of a Vegas showgirl when it's time to flap their arms and shake their arthritic hips to the oompa oompa beat.
Oh my God. Oh my God, help us.
Dinner? Oh, you think that would be the peaceful part, right?
Oh, you didn't know?
Nope. It was a full-scale bickering bonanza.
Really?
And not just about the food. Oh, no. These people were complaining about everything. I can't see the ocean. Then stand up, Phyllis. You've been sitting down all day. I smell the person next to us.
Oh no.
That's not the ship's fault. That's just everyday life, Earl.
Oh.
Let's not forget about the statistics. Because, yes, they actually announced over the PA system that out of the 4,200 passengers on board, 650 were from the villages in Florida.
Oh.
The villages.
Oh.
That's not a demographic, all right? That's an invasion.
Hey!
That's a whole golf court militia.
Hey! I'm getting insulted here. These are my people.
Now, I will say, once dinner was over, most of them disappeared. It was like a
Bedtime.
magic trick.
Bedtime.
Bedtime.
7:30 p.m., gone. Just a tumbleweed rolling across the deck. If you wanted peace and quiet, you could have an entire section of the ship to yourself by 8 p.m. You know why? Because these people needed to be up at dawn to reserve deck chairs they weren't going to sit in.
Uh-oh.
It happens all the time. Now, before this cruise, all right, I was on Carnival. When I got off that ship, I was like, Carnival is ghetto. It's like the Walmart of cruise lines.
Oh.
The food, meh. The vibe, kind of spring break for people who peaked in high school, right?
Oh my gosh.
I thought I was done with Carnival. But then I spent a week on Shady HC, and suddenly I'm looking at Carnival like, maybe I judged you too harshly.
Oh my gosh. Which is Princess? This is Princess?
Princess
Yeah.
Sun.
Yeah.
You know why? Because people see that as the love boat. That's why. That's that age group.
At least on Carnival, the people had energy. The food was But at least I wasn't dodging walkers in the buffet line or pretending to be excited about a watercolor painting class.
Oh,
That's right, folks.
yeah.
One of the top tier activities on Princess was watercolor painting. You know, just in case you wanted to spend your vacation doing something you could have done at home while watching Matlock.
Oh.
So I've decided if you have to choose between undercooked burgers and midnight dance-offs with drunk idiots on Carnival, or warm Jell-O and a 6 p.m. bedtime on Princess, I think I'm going back to Carnival. At least on Carnival, I don't have to worry about someone's life alert going off in the hot tub.
Oh, my God. Oh, gosh. You could have a job doing comedians on Carnival, but you'd have to go to, you'd have to go to the right cruise.
But fear not.
Do Princess.
Fear not, though, because in a few weeks, I'm getting back on my kind of ship.
Yeah, which is?
The Valiant Lady with Virgin Voyages.
Okay.
You want great food? They got it. You want actual entertainment? Done. And the best part? No kids. And no goddamn scooters. The only people running you over are the drunk 30-somethings trying to get to the drag show.
What?
So if you don't see me here in a few weeks, don't panic. I haven't retired. I haven't been arrested. I haven't been kidnapped by the villages. I'm just somewhere in the Caribbean, drinking a cocktail, eating steak, and thanking God that I don't have to do the chicken dance.
Kenny, one of your best ever.
I have no words.
Oh my gosh, I don't know whether AARP will be sending you a letter or not, but
I've already paid for the membership.
Oh yes, yeah. So it is that more senior oriented. I mean,
It
like,
might have been just the ship because I've had people tell me,
I don't know.
you know,
I
who
did
have-
Princess. It wasn't bad. It wasn't overly senior.
Yeah, I've been on
It was
Princess.
a mix. Yeah.
When I did Princess Alaska, it wasn't.
It was a mix.
It was a mix.
Maybe it's where you
There
go
were-
at what
It
time of
may have
year.
been this particular ship because there's an ongoing joke on the ship, and they used to have like this gym area, outdoor area for exercise
Right.
at the top,
Right.
and they closed it. And what they've been saying for the reason is, you know, they needed a parking space for all the scooters.
Oh, that's funny. That is
Well,
funny.
here's the deal. I suppose when you book a cruise, or when you're considering that, perhaps what you should do is ask if indeed they've got groups from.
That's probably what
you know,
they do.
you know. I mean, because
yeah.
if they've got 600 seniors from the villages, you know that book. You know, it's sort of like the.
Oh, it's a recurring thing on this ship. I asked about it.
Got it.
It's probably designated as that because if you, all right, for example, you don't like going with children, so they have cruises that they can tell you of. I mean, you're not going to go on a Disney cruise.
That's Virgin is
You know.
all adults.
Yeah, but then I guess there is, as both Kathy and I being seniors, with the idea of, would you want to avoid a senior cruise series? I mean, like, is that against PI, public, what's the word? Politically correct?
Politically
I mean,
correct.
I quite
I don't
honestly
think I
think
would
it's a service that you provide because,
Yeah.
you know, there it does
You know, I
come
think
with
I
it.
think cruise lines months ahead of time should give you the actual. Not when I say itinerary, I'm not talking about where it's going. I'm talking about
the demographic.
makeup.
what
Demographics.
not the demographics.
Yeah, it is.
The schedule that they have. Oh, so they're going to have this show on this cruise, and they're going to have
Yeah.
that performance. Okay, well maybe I want to go on a different cruise.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't wait until
Yeah.
2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead of time.
But they want you to go with their brand. They're not necessarily want you to go with the show.
Well, each
They
brand
want
has
you to
more
be
than one
loyal-
ship.
Well, they want you to be loyal to their brand.
Yeah, but each brand has more than one ship, and you can go on a different ship and get different entertainment.
That's
Yeah, I
true.
just-
Now,
I don't think you're ever gonna get that.
some of my friends are. There are three I met on my cruise last year. That they do the Bublé tribute, a tribute to Michael Bublé. Were they on yours by chance?
No.
No. Okay. Got it. Got it. Would you
Sometimes entertainers come on at one port and only on for like 2-3 nights and then jump off at another port.
Yeah. Well,
That
if
happens a
they're
lot.
doing tributes to the Lennon sisters or Lawrence Welk, you know probably that ship has a.
I am not
client.
going on that.
You know.
That might be on your Margaritaville at sea there,
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah.
I know they had a new Kids on the Block cruise. I don't know if they
Oh,
stayed on
God
it.
help
They had a group. They had something called
They
the
had-
Groove Cruise.
Yeah.
Or
Which
there's
is
a
all
Broadway-
the
Broadway cruise.
ravers. The
Here you
ravers
go.
do the Groove Cruise.
They did a Bigfoot cruise. They
They
did
did
an
it.
Alaskan Bigfoot cruise. I missed
And you
it.
were
They do a Star
Darn
Trek.
looking for Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, in Alaska up on Kodiak Island. Oh,
All right. So where you headed?
There's
next
this
time?
company doing an 80s cruise.
Yep, there's an 80s cruise.
And
There's a wrestling cruise that Chris
$57
Jericho.
$5,700 for an inside cabin
God,
for the
yeah.
80s cruise.
Yep,
Oh,
There's that.
because they got to pay the bands.
that's what the Alaskan cruisers are more than that.
They got to pay the bands.
They're more than.
Oh my gosh.
The Groove
But-
Cruise, I probably about the same, and that's all like the hottest DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be sticking to the booze cruises, the 3, 4, 5 night, cruises.
Your standard cruise.
How about what's that show on TV? Doctor what?
Dr. Odyssey.
Doctor
Dr. Odyssey.
Yeah, that's nothing what it like.
Oh,
what
I
it's,
can't imagine
no.
that they have.
Oh,
a
they
show.
have-
Yeah, maybe
Newest
maybe
equipment.
it's like that on Cunard or
Oh yeah.
one of those.
Oh,
famous
listen,
lines.
I need you to take the Queen Mary across the ocean because I would really like to.
Yeah,
I,
not-
I heard
not
it's
doing-
old and whatever.
Yeah,
it's-
not doing a transoceanic
Why not?
or transatlantic.
Why not?
Too many sea days.
But wait a minute, you do that sea day
See, I would
thing
love to
over
do-
and sea day back.
I'd love to do a
How many
transatlantic.
days?
I-
is it?
I may do a
It's 3 day-
repositioning.
Yeah,
well, that's what I
3-day
was
cruise.
talking. Yeah.
So that you're only one way.
Bob,
Yeah.
you know what a repositioning cruise is? You fly to Spain or something,
Yeah.
and then you do the transatlantic crossing, and they stop at a couple places
Yeah.
on the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving a ship from the Mediterranean into the Atlantic or the Atlantic to the Pacific.
That I might be interested in doing.
I wanna
because
do
a lot of
one of
them.
those.
A lot of those are cheap.
Yeah, they're on the bucket list.
Listen, Cunard, when you say I'm going to be on the Queen Mary, the Queen Elizabeth II, or whatever it is, you go, oh my God, it must cost a fortune because it's a,
Depends on when you go.
yeah, and they go the route of the Titanic. I was talking to Dennis about this recently. They go the same line, and you can actually go over the place where the iceberg was landing or whatever.
Yeah, well-
It's an exciting kind of thing. I
The-
mean, I
the-
hope it doesn't end like
I was
that,
looking
but-
at maybe doing Alaska. I have no interest in doing that. I like it where it's warm.
You know, it's the only ice you like is in your drink glass.
Exactly.
oh yeah, but yeah,
but there is a cruise, and I don't think they even have it scheduled yet. If they, well, I haven't looked at 2027 yet.
yeah.
Virgin Voyages in October. Or September actually. They're launching their 4th vessel.
Oh,
And
and that's
what-
a good one because then you get a break there, right? And maybe as a blogger, you
Well,
think
I'm kind of working on that.
yeah.
You're no Emma Cruises yet.
It's called it's called their Mermaiden voyage, and it's expensive because it's like a 9-day. But like all the other ships with Virgin, all the lady ships are built and designed the same way. You learn your way around one.
It's a class.
Right.
Yeah, and they did make a change on Brilliant Lady, and they've made it so that the lifeboats sit inward a little bit more than their 3 other vessels.
Uh-huh.
And because they did that,
Yes.
it will fit through the Panama Canal. So that is one I might be looking
Interesting.
at.
Oh, so
Oh
they
my
made it a
God.
Panamax class?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's the
See,
same.
I wanna do a
it's the same size.
repositioning.
It's the same size as all their other vessels,
Yeah.
but it's not as wide. They
Yeah.
trimmed like 8 feet off of it, and
Sure.
they can get through the damn canal.
I think there's one that goes all the way down to Cape Horn, is it, in South
Yeah, probably.
South
Oh,
America?
those are the
Stops at
expeditionary-
Rio. You'd love Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires and oh my God, that
There's
was-
still plenty of places for the Caribbean for me to visit, Bob.
Oh, all right. Okay. Listen, but one sunny day isn't, it's the same as the next. I want something.
what?
I want it to be different in its own way.
What do you mean? What do
well,
you mean by different? Different how?
I it's nice to have a sunny day after a sunny day, but I kind of like the idea of going north into and seeing,
weather? Okay.
different
Gotcha.
climates, and you're going through these climates.
I only pack shorts when I travel.
Oh.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, you only you wear shorts in the winter.
Yeah, you
Not
do.
anymore.
No.
That's right. And you're not wearing them yet.
No.
I got my long johns.
And look, long sleeves right now.
Look.
I'm
Yeah.
amazed.
Yeah. Go up to Alaska for a cruise. My ass. I'm gonna,
Alaska's not that
I'm
cold.
cold right now.
It's not that
Oh,
cold.
man.
So
Okay.
I'm looking at my laptop here, and I don't see a connection. So I guess we weren't successful.
Hey.
Get me linked.
I'm gonna go home.
Well, I'm gonna show you something before you go.
Oh, okay, got
All
it.
right. So there's 4 videos on that list, Pete. KDF Cruise Series. If we can view that one. And then when we're done viewing it, at some point I'm going to ask to review the last 10 seconds of it. So just be ready for that. But let's check this.
Where do I look over? Okay, I'm gonna look over here. Where am I looking?
Anywhere.
Oh, I can look there. 10 cents.
That's a pretty small ship.
This is great. Look at that. A unique look at the
And
very
take a look at the
good
ship
line.
that's about to get bifurcated there, too.
Oh, you're using AI.
Thank you,
again?
AI.
Very nice. I like this. Here is a preview. Okay.
Check out the fingers on this woman.
Oh, holy mother. That's got to be AI.
Yeah.
It is AI. Oh, my
a lot
God.
of fingers.
Voluptuous woman holding.
Okay.
Let's start.
With 10 fingers?
And of course, it wouldn't be a carnival nightclub without a little twerking.
A little twerking?
See,
Oh, a chicken.
I wasn't
dip.
lying. It happened.
Twerking?
Oh, God help me. Oh, look at this. Oh, my gosh. Did that really
And
happen?
because,
No.
and,
Jumping off the boat.
and because Bob was talking over that, the last 10 seconds there, please, Pete. Now this is AI. Most of this is AI. And I did the sound effects afterwards because you don't get sound with AI. A little tongue-in-cheek.
A little tongue
That
in
drop
cheek.
was a little too quick for it to be for
Oh,
the real
my
deal.
gosh. So now that's part.
I could have slowed down the video on that one, but
So, Kenny, where do you find these wonderful videos?
they're in my head.
No, I know it, but if I wanted to go on, we want the folks out there to start to
To see that
subscribe
particular
to
video,
you.
yeah.
Ken's Den Films.
Ken's Den Films.
It's a YouTube channel.
Wow. Okay.
So that was just a tongue-in-cheek, like a sizzler reel, like a teaser.
So every one of those faces that we saw and those people dancing are all AI.
No. There's some real ones.
No. The
That was one of the carnival atriums.
the girl twerking in the nightclub, and then the chicken dance. Those were actual video.
Got it.
Everything else on that, I did with AI.
Amazing.
It's kind of frightening.
It is frightening. You know, last night I had an experience, or was it this morning? No, it's this morning. I was working on trying to come up with a name for a cultural district. One of the first events that the cultural district downtown is going to do is a week-long celebration of summer. And it incorporates all the wonderful things that happen in Westfield on weekends, Artworks Westfield, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was having a conversation with AI, and they would come up with, I said, can you provide me with a name of a festival? And so they come up with, City Soiree. I said, oh, too highfalutin, awful. So the woman says, that I'm talking to goes, okay, how about City Bash or something? And I go, geez, that's not too bad. Could you come up with another one? And I'm going on, and I'm having this conversation. Mm-hmm. And then I would say, that's lousy. And then they'd say, yeah, I know, we'll try this. I tried this one. honest to God, I can see where you could fall in love if you were
Well,
if
they're
somebody
doing
that
that.
wanted to have a
Did you know they're
conversation.
doing that?
What do you mean?
They are creating AI responses for amorous conversations.
Yeah. And you can have an AI girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh my!
It's.
I already don't leave the house.
Oh my God!
Well, their point
Supposedly
is,
their mates, their friend. People apparently are. They're so people are crazy.
Are they putting
nowadays.
robotics into the real life or something like
They're
that?
well, when that integration comes, people won't have need for other humans anymore.
Oh my God!
we won't need movies.
Oh my God!
'cause
Well,
they'll
look
fit
at
any-
movies.
for
I got to
anything.
get out there into the real world. Go to westfieldonweekends.com, Kenny, for all the wonderful.
What will I
things.
find there, Bob?
You will find stuff about the quilts of Ed Janetta Miller, our journey stories, where you're going to see thousands of dollars worth of quilts by one of the world's most famous quilting artists.
The quilts of what?
Ed Janetta is the
And
one.
if you
that's-
look on
Ed Janetta?
Ed Janetta Miller. Ed.
Oh,
Jeanette.
okay.
Ed
Okay, it's not
Janetta.
Ed. There's not some guy named Ed.
no, I think her parent. Remember, she said that. How about her name?
Yes.
Her
yeah.
parents wanted.
They wanted a
boy.
boy, and they were going to name him Edward John. And so when she arrived, they said, "Oh, let's call her Ed Janetta." So she's got that name, but she
It's all
goes
one
by
word.
Ed. She loves to be called Ed. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But
now who is this person?
she is one of the world's most famous fiber artists. And we have on the walls down there and on coat racks, etc., thousands of dollars worth of quilts.
How do you become a world famous fiber artist? Because I never heard of them before.
A fiber artist is somebody who quilts and uses quilts to express their story or their journey or whatever. And there's the National Quilting Museum in Indiana. There is the Black Quilters Network of the United States and throughout the world. There are quilting associations through. I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork to come and see these work.
We need somebody to create a quilt of my cruise travels.
You know, they might have quilting at some of these. Though I don't know. I wouldn't recommend going.
Yeah, I'm not going on that ship again.
Yeah, no. But again, you know, we could do you could do what you could do is you could buy some fabric in every place that you go, or something that could be put on a
No.
quilt.
You know what? I bet you that
Like a
technology
t-shirt.
exists somewhere
A
where I can
t-shirt
just
for
submit a
everywhere.
photo and it will create a
Virtual
it'll
quilt
stitch,
for you.
it'll
Probably
stitch
will.
something.
A photo or
Yeah.
a T-shirt.
You
or
know,
a
like
souvenir.
a souvenir or patches. You know, when you go on a what do you buy when you go on a quilt? I mean, on a cruise, a quilting
Buy-
cruise. What do you buy to remind you of your cruise?
I don't do
You don't get a
excursions.
wall
I don't do
magnet?
touristy things. I
You don't
don't
get a
do.
magnet?
I don't do souvenirs.
Or magnet or anything like that?
No.
But you could
No, I'm taking photos and
Unless
videos.
it's something he can plug in and play with, and it flashes lights and records. And
Hey,
takes
look,
pictures.
look! I had that opportunity, but she costs too much money.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, my God. So, Kenny, this is what you do. You go on AI, ask AI. Oh. Yeah. I see, I'm trying to avoid it.
Some of these ships,
There's no way to avoid it, Bob.
some of these ships literally are Vegas at sea.
Vegas at sea where it stays here. Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, really. I'm telling you, because I watched the White Lotus, and they go out on those ships and don't return.
Never seen that.
Oh, you got to see it. Oh, my God, if you're talking about interesting television. At any rate,
I do like him.
so what you do is AI, you go to AI and you say, I would like to create a patch of work quilt based on my travels. I have been here, here, and here on these cruise lines, and see what you come up with.
You probably can.
I would love it because your quilt could grow, and folks could watch your quilt grow. Watch my quilt grow.
Don't.
No.
Don't.
You know, I'm seeing a GoFundMe campaign now. Pay to watch me grow.
Oh, no, oh, please. Listen, go to westfieldonweekends.com for all the great happenings. Not that one, but at any rate. It's so much fun to be back with you guys.
That's what you call it?
Whatever it is here. At any rate, well, the crew's back. I'm gonna. Well, I should have
have
been.
missed
Where
you.
do I look? I
We
don't
should-
even
we
know.
should
Where?
have-
What camera am I?
Camera one.
All right, I'm looking out at that camera. I gotta say, look at. Watch Ken's Den. We've got making the list coming up soon. I
Are
suppose.
we ever
maybe.
going to do that again?
At some point.
Yeah. And
I'm on too many ships right now. To
Oh,
make
gotcha.
Make it that happen.
go to
That ship has
online
sailed.
and let's all subscribe so that Kenny can become a world famous blogger, ship blogger.
You know, if I can hit 1,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
that can bring my hourly count up, and then things can start to happen for me. So I would love to grow.
Let's
my
all
subscriber
do
base.
this. Oh, let's all do this. Every one of you.
You know,
out there.
once I'm done with this whole cruise series,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna put a plea out on some of the community forums. Just to, you don't have to watch the crap. Just subscribe to it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it might not be crap because I need to
the thing is,
know.
when you have more subscriber numbers, you end up higher up on the.
I want you to
on the,
find for me,
search.
I want you to do research for me to find me a ship that has a good library where people aren't walking by. I need that, and I need a comfortable library where I can sit and read my book.
I don't go on those types of cruises.
All right,
I'm
I just subscribed to you.
Okay, there we are. I'm going home to do it myself.
All right.
Ken's Den Films.
All right,
39 subscribers.
you have music ready to go?
Of course I do.
All right, now would be a good time to play.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you and love. Life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. It's love. It's love. Yeah, the love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat promises something for everyone. Set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. And love won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. It's love. It's love. It's love. It's the love boat. It's the love boat. It's the love boat. It's the love boat. It's
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. on the web at rockies.com.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
And we're back.
Yes, and before we get into something, because I see shiny things, squirrel, cupcake, sprinkles, I get a little distracted. I have to mention, speaking of things in Westfield, that the Westfield Theater Group opens this weekend with the musical, our spring musical, called Disaster.
Oh, is it about me?
Well, you know what it is.
About me and my relationship?
No, it's about your cruises, honestly.
Only one of them's been a disaster.
It's about a ship that has, if you remember, and you remember this, Peter, the disaster movies of the 70s and the 80s, Inferno and Earthquake and Poseidon. Airplane. It's sort of a comedy, putting all of those silly little movies together. And it should be funny. It's great fun. Has a great cast, lots of fun people, and it's what we call jukebox music. It's a jukebox musical, and that it's
all pop songs.
Yeah, it's not using songs that were written for the show. It's using songs that were pop songs back in the 80s.
ASCAP and BMI must be thrilled about that.
It's all part of the show. It's all written now. I'm sure they're well paid for it.
Always a half-empty glass, never a half-full glass, right?
I'm sure they're well paid for it, because it's a well-known show. It's not a new show. It's not a show any of us wrote.
Part of the rights that you paid to the show pay the ASCAP and BMI down the road.
I'm sure they do. So anyway, it's this weekend. You can get tickets online. Go to westfieldtheatergroup.org or .com. I don't know what it is, but it'll bring it up. And you can order there. It's easier to order online because you get to pick your seat. There is a service fee when you do use your charge card, and that's happening a lot. Are you noticing that? At first, remember that
credit card companies are charging for the transaction fee.
Well, I know
and
that,
you know what? You know what it is too. I've noticed Walmart, because they do so many transactions, they don't get charged a fee. So now they're passing that along to customers. Like when I buy gas, if you're a Walmart Plus member, you can buy gas at a mobile station and do it for 10 cents off the published rate at the pump. Because they don't charge a transaction fee if you run it through Walmart.
Interesting. Well, a couple of years ago, Peter, they were telling everybody, money is going to be obsolete. We're not going to use any money. We're all going to use plastic.
They're pushing for that because you can regulate the money.
But now places are charging more to use the card.
Right.
Which in Massachusetts, it's illegal.
I looked that up. I had to look that up, and
you can provide a cash discount, but you can't charge more.
Right. That's what they do. The published rate is like the specific one for gas is that station right on Franklin Street. They have their published credit price.
Yes.
And then the cash price is 10 cents lower.
Yes.
Or to 12 cents, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and supposedly that cash price is in fact a lower discount, but let's read between the lines, right?
Yeah.
But in Massachusetts, the credit, you cannot be charged extra for using a credit card, retail. Now, in the case of the city where you pay your excise tax using a credit card, they can pass that on to you.
I believe that when you use TurboTax and you pay online, if you use a credit card, they charge you.
That's a processing fee, though. That's more than just the.
Not if you're using cash, because we just went through that. Mm-hmm. Not if you're paying from your bank account.
Yeah, I used to know the actual Mass General Law chapter.
I looked it up. I had to look it up when we started using credit cards online, Ken, and that's what I said. I said we can't charge a service fee, but you can, and I'm not sure why. I don't know what the ramifications are. But in any event, never mind. Just go and get your card. If you decide you come home on a Friday night and you want to go see the show, I guarantee there will be tickets available, because the box office closes for online purchases a couple hours before. So you can go and buy one in person at the box office. There will be tickets. There is a show Friday night. There's a show Saturday afternoon, and there's a show Saturday night, and then it runs for the following 2 weekends. So you have 3 weekends to go see Disaster. No excuses. Get there. I know where to find you, and I will come looking.
Mass General Law, Chapter 140. With respect to a credit card, which may be used for extensions of credit and sales transactions in which a seller or person other than the card issuer may not, by contract or otherwise, prohibit or such seller from offering a discount to a cardholder to induce the cardholder to pay cash, check, or similar means rather than use a credit card. Number 2, no seller in any sales transaction may impose a surcharge on a cardholder who elects to use a credit card in lieu of payment by cash, check, or similar means.
But there has to be extenuating circumstances.
There are, and if you
because
go on
it's
through and
yeah.
read, but generally you go into a retail store, I'll give you a break if you pay cash,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
can't be charged more than what it's priced at. And some people are doing that, and it's just a matter of time before people start getting fed up. Also, another thing, and
There's another thing?
there are a lot of restaurants in town that are in violation of this. You cannot, in Massachusetts, set a minimum spend in order to use a credit card.
Interesting. I hadn't noticed that.
Now,
was
you
happening.
go into a couple of pizza or grinder places, I'm not going to name any, but you'll see credit card minimum $10.
Huh, I haven't
You walk into a couple of these convenience stores in town, credit card minimum $10. Illegal in Massachusetts.
The other thing I
Can you
noticed
quote
that-
chapter and verse on that so we can run it by him?
Sure, if you don't mind hearing me type, because for some reason these microphones are more sensitive than what I remember.
sensitive.
No, when you put the new cables in, it actually increased the performance of the microphones.
Oh, really?
Yes, they got.
That's-
So the job I did on these wonderful cables was actually an
I
improvement.
noticed they were hotter today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I noticed they were hotter today.
Well, I'm glad they're working.
I thought that was just my hearing aids, Peter.
No, they're. I dropped them down by 3 dB, so they're hotter than they were.
I know several restaurants that we go in now have said credit card fee and then cash fee. So I don't really know. I know that the credit card company has asked for fees, and they pay fees, and stores pay fees, and so it's just going to get passed on to us. I
Well,
guess.
yeah, and that's why the credit card companies. So the other problem is people talk about the digital dollar and getting away from paper currency. The problem is we saw this in Canada during the truckers' protests, right? If you have all digital money, the Canadian government just froze the people's accounts. They called them domestic terrorists and just froze their money. And these truckers couldn't get any money. Like they literally couldn't get to their bank accounts. They froze them.
Interesting. I don't remember that.
Oh,
when,
yeah.
When was that?
Oh, that was during the COVID protests when they had the truckers protests.
Yeah, I vaguely remember. I put COVID out of my mind.
Right, but
I
the
didn't know
Canadian
anything about
government, when truckers refused to move, and they just had a protest where they were just sitting there, trucks weren't running, they were just parked, blocking Parliament, I think. The government declared them domestic terrorists, and then froze their bank accounts, and people were trying to donate money via cash apps and things like that, and people were getting arrested for doing that. It was bad. And so that's the problem of people don't understand of getting rid of cash. And the other thing is a lot of local businesses prefer cash. They really do. They prefer cash. I now I'm starting to carry cash again. Somebody told me the other night, "Oh, well, I never carry cash anymore." I'm like,
I don't carry a lot of it. The other thing I'm seeing a lot, speaking of restaurants and cash and using credit cards, is and I don't know if you've run into this either, Pete, but when you leave a tip, to leave your tip in cash, not
Yes.
on your credit card, because they don't always get it.
well, not only that, but it becomes harder to claim on taxes if it's cash. You know what I mean? So everything that you put on a credit card slip has to be reported by law for income tax. If you leave them cash, that's a little fungible room where they don't necessarily have to report that.
I understand that. I had a daughter that was a waitress for a long time.
Yep.
So I get that. But the other issue is that they don't have the instant availability to the tip either.
Right. Sometimes when they do they have to wait till the batch processes for the credit card machine.
And it all
And that
comes
sometimes
through.
that's
Yep.
every day. Some businesses do it every day. Some do it every 3 days. Some do it once a week.
There's also the shady practice of changing the tip, which can happen. It's never happened to us.
So I usually look at my
you
statement
know.
to see what processes through.
Oh, I always look at my statement.
But I'm less worried about that. Of some business owners, I think, take the total aggregate of the tips on a batch process and they just evenly distribute it, no matter how hard your server works or doesn't work. Or sometimes they include the kitchen staff in that
Yes,
too.
tipping out.
And I
Yep.
think that's not cool either.
Yeah. I don't know. We've talked about tipping on here before.
I know some
and I
restaurants
just
have
don't
put
know.
it on their menu saying, "Hey, buy a beer for the kitchen guys," and they actually put on the menu as a menu item. I've
Yeah,
seen
but-
that.
But they're paid.
I know.
And
And they're paid more than the
That's
servers.
their job. I mean, I don't know. I have so many. I wish I could just see it black and white, Peter, but I can't.
It's not.
I just can't. And I hate the way we tip because if you and I go to dinner and you order, say you order a couple drinks and you order a steak and you order an appetizer, and I've ordered, well, I get a glass of water, but that's a drink. I get a glass of water and a sandwich. I don't tip as much as you do, but she's probably come to the table the same amount of times.
See, I
So
tip.
that part
I tip
doesn't
based on
make
level
sense.
of service.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to do it the way we do it. And I noticed when we were overseas in New Zealand, I did see tip jars on counters.
If I have to stand while placing my order, or if I have to walk up to a counter to get my food, I'm not tipping.
No,
Yeah,
and
I don't
think
disagree
we
with you on that
should.
either.
No, because they're not getting paid the waitress wage if they're working on a
Yeah,
counter.
why would you tip for takeout?
Yeah, I told you the story. I went and I
Like, I don't mind tipping a driver that drives it to me.
I tipped the driver. Yeah,
Right, but why would you tip on takeout?
I went to a restaurant here. The bill was 17 something. The person came to the register. The person is not someone who made it. I know, I get it. I gave this person $20 and they said to me, "Do you want your change back?"
Yeah.
You just took my money. You didn't make it. You didn't wait on me. You didn't take the order. You opened the cash register and put my money in. Why would I tip you? You're looking at me strangely. Am I being
No, I
witchy?
don't disagree with you on that.
Why am I tipping the barista to pour a coffee and put it in a cup and give it to me while I'm standing?
Well, that's why they don't. Dunkin' Donuts here won't take them.
Yeah.
They won't let you. You can donate to a cause.
I think
but
it's
they won't
corporate
let you.
policy. They're not allowed.
That's correct. He does not let you do it. Yep.
No, I mean, like Dunkin' Donuts Corporation.
Oh, is it the whole
I think
corporation?
it's a corporation.
Yeah, but
policy.
yeah, Starbucks, they'll spin that thing right over, and they'll look at you and they're waiting for you to push that button.
I don't know. And there's so many things that everybody now wants to be tipped for, and I agree. I agree with tipping.
There's meme videos out there about it nowadays. It's so bad.
Yeah, I agree with when you go to dinner, if you can't afford to tip, don't go to dinner. I mean, I agree with that. And I do agree that some of these waitresses, it's hard work. It's hard work, and I am not minimizing what they do. As I said, my daughter worked for them, but some of the things people are being asked to tip for, I don't get. I'm here. Can you give me a tip? I'm sitting
Don't
here.
quit your day job.
Okay.
Hey, that $10 minimum.
What does it say?
Since I've been involved with retail, it has changed slightly. In Massachusetts, you can have a minimum amount up to 10, but it has to apply the same to all credit cards. And the reason why this is kind of sticking to my mind is a few years back, there was an antitrust lawsuit against Visa and MasterCard. American Express charges more than MasterCard and Visa. And retailers were charging more for people using Amex, and it gets, complicated. But The law is now it has to be the same minimum to all credit cards and cannot impose a minimum for debit card purchases. So, if you have the debit card with the Visa or MasterCard logo on it, oh, no, that's a credit card. I'm going to charge you. No, it's a debit. You can't require a minimum. So I gave you a partial truth earlier on that, but I wanted to follow through because I really wasn't aware of this change. But, it's debit cards now they can't do that with.
Well, I have to clarify. I'm totally in favor of tipping in restaurants. Absolutely, completely, totally. They work hard. It's just everybody else. Well, no, I tip my hairdresser because I want to always be coffee bean brown number 23. Because I'm really not but coffee bean brown number 23.
Hey, look at this.
What?
We totally wasted 1 hour already.
It was not a waste.
Technically 50 minutes.
It was
but, yeah.
valuable conversation.
And you know what? Coming up in this next hour, I've got even more valuable stuff. We're going to talk about, you briefly asked about a pool at some point. I don't know if that was off air or not. But my pool situation is going to change this week or this summer.
Okay.
Southwest Air, some information for people who fly Southwest a lot. And it goes beyond what's been announced over the past 2 weeks. I was actually on the phone with somebody this past day from
And you know
Southwest.
what? With airplanes, I looked it up because Peter makes me look things up.
Southwest is no different than any other airline, and actually, that's the reason I flew them is because they were unique.
But all of these things that are happening now, I looked it up, and it's not any more than we've ever had. It's just that we know about them, and they're sensationalizing them, but there aren't really a lot more issues than there ever was.
Oh, you're talking about the incidents, not the
Yeah.
issues.
Right.
The incidents. Yeah.
The incidents.
Yeah, we're just more aware of them now. And also, I've got a couple of video clips of where I did play around with AI, and they're just interesting to watch. And we'll watch the clip, and they're like 5 seconds long. And then once we watch a clip, we'll rewind it a bit and pause it and really dissect it and see what the heck we're looking at. So all that and more coming up in the next hour.
Burn down the store, take what you want and more. Shop until you drop, voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies, no sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall, voodoo consumer take it all. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank, kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard. Eat this, drink this, drive this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Voodoo consumer terminus. Eat this, drink this, try this, buy this, wear this, right up and take it. It's fabulous. If you can't afford to fake it, be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. 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 Fabulous.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Boy, I am really wishing that the Windows update that started to happen on one of my other laptops this morning, I'm kind of wishing that it didn't brick that laptop.
What happened? It wouldn't reboot?
It ended up hanging when it was trying to reinitialize, and it just...
Did you do a hard reset? Take out the thumb drives?
Oh, yeah, I did all of that.
Is there a CD in the CD player?
No. It's definitely the OS that's shot. So, yeah, the reason I bring this up is I had a lot of video clips that we could have used on that laptop.
So this is not the same laptop.
No, this is a different laptop.
See, I thought it was. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, this is a laptop I travel with because it's powerful enough to run Adobe Premiere Pro, a video editor. And I loaded up what I thought would work with the system here, but I guessed at it, and it's just not functioning right. I might have a firewall. I do have a VPN on it, but the VPN is turned off. But anyways, I think I'm going to pull that hard drive out. I'm going to put it into a reader.
You're doing it again, Ken.
And I'm going to extract
Ken.
the music off of it that I need.
That I know what that means.
And then I'm going to reinstall the OS and get a clean start on it. And, hopefully I can bring that laptop, because I don't want to use this
all the time
for here. Yeah, so there are a couple of videos that are kind of cool we could have watched today, but I didn't throw them on the thumb drive I gave to Pete, and they're not on this one, but life happens.
Life does. Life gets in the way.
It's always something.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to go down that road, huh?
All right.
Keep on moving. Let's
right.
go. Next topic.
All right. WN.
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 What is WN?
WN is the code in aviation for Southwest Airlines.
Oh, okay.
You see, you would think it would be SWA, but no, it's WN. If you take a look at any of their flight numbers, it's WN and then the flight number.
I think it's because they were inherited from Western Airlines.
They were originally
That makes
Western
sense.
Airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about WN. All right,
Okay,
so everyone knows at 2026 the assigned seating is coming, and I don't have a problem with that.
I think it's going to make boarding longer.
It will, because on one of my last trips, I took a Delta, same size aircraft, the 737 that Southwest uses exclusively. And it took much longer to board that aircraft with people looking around trying to find their seats.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, it took longer. And Southwest has this, 30-minute turnaround. All right, you get that plane deplaned and loaded up and ready to go in half an hour. That's not going to happen.
No, it's going to be at least an hour.
That's not going to happen. And we also know that they've eliminated the 2 bags fly free.
Yeah, that's the people are going to be really pissed about
That's
that.
the big one.
They're going to lose a lot of business over that.
Now, one of the implications with that is, okay, well, if you are an A plus, or you do the business, or like me, you have their premium credit cards, you're entitled to one free check bag. But now what people are going to be doing is they're going to be trying to shove the kitchen sink into their duffel bags and trying to get it to fit into the overhead because you're allowed to have that carry-on. These things aren't going to fit. Everything's going to have to be gate checked, and that's going to slow the process down too. All right, so there's going to be a lot of delayed flights when Southwest starts doing all this. But that's old news. You know, we've known about the assigned seats for almost a year. It's coming up. We've known about the checked bags for about 2 weeks now. And Bob Jordan, like 4 months ago, he said, no, we're never going to get rid of that.
Isn't he on his way out? I thought he was getting replaced.
No. Half of the executive board got replaced, but Bob Jordan is still there. But Elliott owns enough of the controlling ownership now of Southwest where they're just making all this happen.
So what was their reason for changing the bag policy? Money?
They want to be more in line with all the other airlines, and they say, well, we want to be like all the other airlines because we get paid a lot more extra money with ancillary fees.
They're trying to drive up their profits, but they're going to lose so much business.
Now
I'm just not going to fly anymore.
They're gonna lower their basic fee, their basic fare.
No, because they got rid of the want to fly fare.
Well, what they're going to end up doing,
Want to get away.
the want to get away is going to still be there, which is going to be a low cost, but all the fares across the board, if you think of it, they really factored in the cost of the baggage. So I think you're going to really see the cost go down with the want to get away type fare, but
No, they've already announced the want to get away is gone. They're
right.
calling it a basic.
I'm calling it their basic because that's what it really is. It's their basic. It might not be called that in the future, but their basic one, I think you're going to see it lower than what we see now with the want to get away. But then, you want to have your own seat? Okay, we're going to charge you $40 to pick the seat.
Yeah.
We're going to charge you, $50 or $60 to check your bag. And it's going to be like Frontier and Spirit, where it goes one after another, after another, after another, after another gotcha. Because right now, as it is, they factor in what it costs to handle the baggage. They are not a low-cost airline in the past 10 years plus. Nowhere near being a low-cost airline. There are no frills. But they were not the low cost airline. With my status with them, I'll be getting a free check bag, which I get on Delta and JetBlue because I have status with them, and one carry-on, one personal for all of them across the board. I believe I'm going to be able to pick my seat out at no charge because of the status I have with the credit cards.
Yeah, but you're like a 10%er.
I am. So people who are fine with them just automatically assigning a seat, okay, well, I'll pay the cheap fare. And you know what? You're probably going to get stuck in the middle. But, guess what? Southwest has 31 inches of pitch, and Spirit has 28 inches of pitch. So you still have a lot more room.
I bet you they change that too.
I think when they're putting Roncari seats in the upgrades, Southwest is going to have a more legroom type area in the front, and then they're going to pack you in the back. And I think we're going to lose an inch of pitch.
They're becoming no different than anybody else. Their big selling point was we were different than everybody else. Mm-hmm. If you're saying that they factored that into their fares, that's fine. But people want the appearance of value, and they have scuttled that.
And
therefore, people are not going to be appearance of value, and they're not going to fly them.
And now you're giving me pretzels for food. You're not putting any type of infotainment on the back of the seat.
Yeah, they stopped doing that.
They never had it.
I noticed they on short flights they never have.
So now, okay, the Delta, the JetBlue is going to cost me the same as Southwest, but I don't have to bring an extra tablet in order to watch something. Oh, I don't have to pay I don't have to pay $8 for Wi-Fi. Delta and JetBlue give me free Wi-Fi. Southwest charges you $8, and it used to be $8 for the day. It's $8 per segment, and because they use a hub and spoke,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
you get charged for going from here to
Yep.
BWI, and then you have to pay again to go from BWI to MCL, unless you have the business credit
telling
card,
you,
then you get it refunded. But
Unless I really need to, I'm not going to fly anymore.
yeah,
Just not going to do it.
I'm just going
It's
to
not
have to
my favorite thing. It's just so stressful.
I'm just gonna have to-
It's just awful.
spend a little bit more time looking for the bargains, which I have the luxury to do that, and I've gotten really good at it.
Yeah, my daughter's good at it.
I know exactly where to go, what to put my eyes on. But the more important thing that I want to mention with Southwest right now is I was on the phone with them yesterday. And I was on the phone with them yesterday because I'm sitting in my chair and I get 2 emails. Your flight has been canceled. And then a minute later, your flight has been canceled. 2 flights that I had just booked 2 days prior. And I booked them 2 days prior because May 28th is a very important date with Southwest Airlines.
Care to share?
Yes, I will share.
Hey.
If you book a flight before May 28th, and it doesn't matter when it is, it has to be booked prior to May 28th, you fall underneath the old policy with baggage. You get your 2 free bags.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's important for me, especially when I go to Vegas to film things, because I take gear with me.
Yes, you do.
So the caveat, and the person I was on the phone with was really, 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 really good with volunteering all types of information that I tried to pry from them. But anyways, the reason why my flights were canceled is I panicked. I had already booked those 2 flights, and they were canceled because I had identical itinerary already booked. Because I saw the May 28th info come up. I'm like, okay, all right, so, they canceled them, but I still have the flights.
Okay.
Extra money in my pocket, right? The next round of flights that they are going to release, and people who fly Southwest, they get what I'm talking about. And this is really good information right here. The current round of flights are good until November 1st. They're booking until November 1st. They are releasing the flights from November 2nd through January in 2 weeks. Now, remember the magic date, May 28th. If you need to fly somewhere in November or December or January and you're with Southwest and you have points you want to use, you have credits, you have a gift certificate, whatever. If you book that flight prior to May 28th, old baggage.
Get it.
Caveat.
Here we go.
If after May 28th you modify that, let's say, you know what, I can save $20 by taking a flight an hour later during the day. If you do that after the 28th, your 2 bag allowance is gone.
gone.
And
Well,
unless
yeah,
you're like
I can
me
see
and
that.
you get 1 free check bag, you're going to be paying for bags.
Yep.
So that savings you get for changing that flight, you better do the math and figure it out.
I gotcha.
So I asked, what was I think it was his name Shannon? His name might have been Shannon. I asked him, I go, and I laughed after I asked, and then he laughed because he knew what happens. I go, what happens if you guys change, which happens a lot?
Yeah, good question.
They flag the account that they made the change, and then that baggage policy does not get changed.
Okay. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's like if I
So
buy something on
you
sale and they run
now
out.
the
Yeah,
issue
makes
is
sense.
when they make a change, you get the opportunity to rebook a flight at no extra cost
Right. It's their fault.
with Southwest.
It's their fault.
Well, you don't get a refund for going to a cheaper one. You don't pay more to get, and it can be a day or two. I think it's 7 days plus or minus. Awesome policy. So I'm like, okay, well, what happens when you change it and it doesn't fit my itinerary, and then I need to change your change? You know what, sir? You probably want to call us at that point, because you're definitely not going to want to play around with that online. So there is your very important Southwest news when it comes to
Well, I'm not
scheduling
flying Southwest,
flights.
so it's okay for scheduling. You may schedule. My daughter flies.
I still have quite a few points with them. But, I'm also almost maxed out with my JetBlue and my Delta points now, because I know how to play the credit card game.
I have I have money in American. We have $75 coming back. Mm-hmm. So we would have to fly American if we want to use it.
All right, stay off the regional jets.
Yeah. I took a regional jet. It was
Well, unless you like, interesting landings.
Yeah, unless you like water.
yeah, I took a United regional jet coming from Washington into Bradley. They're tiny. They're really tiny. They're just, you get claustrophobic.
When was the last time you were in a Piper?
Oh, golly, not in years. Not
Okay,
in
because
years.
that's tiny.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I don't even, maybe when my kids were little. Mm-hmm. Not since then.
Yeah.
I'm not a big flyer. Mm-hmm. I don't do well.
One of my last trips out, coming back from Miami, I've been using Delta a lot instead of Southwest, just for the time that the flights go out. And I was impressed. They had really good snack options. And when you got a soda, they gave you a whole cup of ice and a whole can, instead of just
Yeah, they do.
pouring it into a
Yeah.
little 4-ounce little thing. And again, it's a small thing, but, oh, geez, you like me enough to give me the whole damn can of
I've
soda.
always been given the can.
Yeah, not in Southwest. They give you these little 4 or 5 ounce cups.
They gave me the cup and they gave me the can. That was on American, and then the other one I think was United. Mm-hmm. United, those are the ones I flew.
So now again, we're looking at
Alaska
looking at Southwest again. Okay, well, now they're nickel and diming me, and I have to play this damn dance around, and they're going to give me 4 ounces of Coca-Cola in a bamboo cup.
There's a video going around about one of the budget airlines, and they say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are approaching a storm system, so we have 2 options. The pilot can either go around the storm system and keep you safe, or he can go right through the middle. If you would like to go around, we will be collecting a fee of $5 from every person on board.
Yeah, that's how crazy it's gotten.
It makes me laugh.
Well, that's a fuel surcharge.
There you go. It would be a fuel surcharge.
Speaking of which,
Right.
Margaritaville at sea. If you read the cruise agreement,
I must have. I don't know.
and right now it only affects ships going out of Palm Beach, not Tampa. Depending on how much fuel is going for in Texas,
No.
you can expect a $25 to $45 fuel surcharge as you get off that boat. But we won't know if we're going to charge you for it until the last day of the cruise.
Why would you? I would sue them. I'd
know,
start a
bec-
class action lawsuit.
Because
Well, you
Charge it up front and give it as a credit or something.
it's in the agreement that you agree to.
yes, but the fuel
I would
that
still
you're
sue 'em, though.
using on board
Because you
for
can't.
your ship, they've already paid for. It's not the fuel increase. That would be the next cruise.
That'll go away with a class action lawsuit.
Get what I'm saying?
Because people don't read the agreement. If
No,
people
we
knew about that, they would sue. I would sue. Oh, you signed the agreement.
You sign the
You're
agreement. That's
you're
the
doing
price.
predatory practices. Why don't we have which department would look into that? I don't know. Federal department.
We don't have any departments left.
Yeah, we do. Department of Justice would look into that. For
Does
predatory practices.
But Peter, does it make a difference if they're registered in an international port?
They do business in America.
So they still have to do it the way we want?
If you're taking American money and you're defrauding American consumers, they can sue them.
Interesting.
Oh, this company is registered in Florida.
Well, I know a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are
A lot of them
registered
aren't, yeah.
overseas. I think Princess is not registered here.
Most ships are flagged in Bermuda
Yeah.
because of the preferential taxes situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that fuel surcharge is only on the Paradise, which goes out of Palm Beach.
Their new ship, you mean?
The old one. That's the old one. I'm going on the new one, the Islander. And I continue to look at the reviews on YouTube. It doesn't seem that people are very surprised because they actually
The
woke
old
up.
ship is a piece of junk.
Oh, yeah, the Paradise, the one that they came out with a few years ago. Yeah.
Now, why do you say that, Peter?
Supposedly,
Because it is a piece of junk. It's an old cruise ship
Okay.
that they didn't quite really refurbish,
Okay.
and they just put out there to put out there.
they announced the beginning of March that they're starting to do the renovations on those staterooms, like they renovated them like 4 years ago. So they're trying to get that ship up to the same level that Islander's at. Islander came out a year ago. But Islander, they have a drink package, and they don't have the drink package on Paradise. They're completely different ships under the same company. And this is an old, I forget what year it was built. You know, it's a 20-year-old ship, I think. A complete reno on this one, though. And I'm trying to think what Costa. It was an old Costa ship.
What is the cost?
Costa is a cruise line.
Costa Cruise
Oh,
Lines.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So
Thank you.
That's now under the Carnival brand.
Carnival,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, so it was a Costa and a Carnival, and then it was Margaritaville Sea Islander. But people are just left and right surprised with Islander
Now, why?
because of the experiences people have had on Paradise.
So because that one's a better one, you're saying? So
Yes.
that there's, okay. They were expecting it to be worse?
Yeah,
Interesting. Why would you take it if you're expecting it to be worse?
because you're interested to see what the heck is up with it. And it's turning into like a race car that doesn't look like a race car. You know, you call it a sleeper. It's surprising everyone. So I'm really kind of looking forward to going on that one. Yeah, when you see their ads pop up, they really seem cheap. But by the time you add this on and add that on, they're not cheap, but they are less
Yeah.
than the other brands. The food is supposedly okay. I'm probably not going to appreciate the food, but people have said it's not horrible like some of the other situations I've been in. So, yeah, all that came from that fuel surcharge you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, so I won't be subject to it because I'm sailing out of Tampa for that.
Okay.
But apparently, if you sail out of Palm Beach, and then you're subject to how much a gas is going for in Texas.
That's just very interesting. That's very, very interesting. It's like saying, well, I'll drive. Let's go to Boston on a road trip, Ken, and I'll drive. But, you know, if on the way the gas is more there, even though I'm not buying the gas there, I already bought the gas here. I already paid for the gas here, and I'm not buying any there. But if it goes up there, I'm going to charge you.
Have you noticed that gas stations, you know, they'll fill the tanks in the middle of the afternoon, but the prices don't necessarily change?
No, I never noticed
Because they're
that.
commodities based now. That's why.
No,
It
I
used
never
to be.
noticed.
It used to be. They used to set the price based upon what was in the ground, and what they paid to fill the tank. Now they've changed their pricing models to whatever the commodities are trading for on the stock market that day, and they can update them almost up to the minute.
I do notice they do change every other day.
Sometimes they change during the day.
Yes, I've
change
seen
during the
that.
day.
Yes, I've seen
Yep.
that. Yep. There's one in town that does that. I go there all the time. I don't care. but it'll change. I'll go downtown and it'll be one thing, and I go back and it's something else.
Hey, look, I've been yapping for about
And
26
you're
minutes
very good
here.
at it. You're making up for lost time. We
Yeah.
haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Let's play a tune, and then when we get back, I want to go over some those AI videos I created, just so we can have a good laugh.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at betsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show.
Right here on WSKB 89.5.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Now, in 25 minutes, you're not going to have to deal with me anymore.
Don't say it that way.
Matter of fact, if I end a little early, then yeah, even earlier than that.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll pick a long song to put at the end, so you don't have to. I don't have to come over the airwaves and into your ear hole anymore.
I can't say that I miss getting up on Tuesday mornings.
I don't miss it.
I don't.
There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's that, 7.5 minutes?
8.5.
8.5, okay.
What's the other one that takes so long? The Queen song. What's the Queen song that takes so long? You know the one I mean, by Queen, that goes on and on and on.
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian
That's
Rhapsody.
like 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's not very long.
Freebird, 15. No,
well, it depends what cut you're
yeah,
you know.
it depends on what cut. And then there was the other one, Magic Carpet Ride is can be almost
yes.
10.
Yes. Wow. That
Those
goes
are all
on
the
forever.
infamous when I worked at HYN.
Yep.
Before automation, those were the bathroom songs.
Yep.
Children don't know the struggle, do they?
Yeah, if I
Now,
was,
when you
if
were
I was
live
doing
DJ,
something and I had to take a leak, I'd put Hotel California on.
Before the automation, or you put an album on and had double cuts or something like that, or
But you know what I noticed, Peter, with the audiences today and the shows that we do, they're getting less and less able to sit for any length of time.
people's attention
It's
spans
just
because of
gone.
phones is gone. It's
Oh,
useless.
yeah. When I do a show, I tell them you cannot stop and have any downtime. You have to go from one scene to the next, because if you don't, the minute you stop, boom, you're right, out comes that phone. Boom.
It's brutal.
And there they are. And I
it
do
drives
it too,
me nuts.
so.
It drives me nuts because I try, while I'm working during the day, I try to stay off the phone as much as possible, and I do accomplish that. And then I'll look and certain person in my life has sent me like 10 posts, shared of this and shared of that. I'm like, I said, don't be offended if I don't reply to any of them, because I don't always have time to look at them.
Well,
He's not talking about me. I don't do that.
My brother's almost as bad an offender as the other person.
I can see that.
I'm guilty of it myself. I do it myself. I try not to do it, but I do it myself. But people used to be able to sit for like an hour and a half, 2 hours for a show. They can't do that anymore.
No.
An hour to an hour and a half tops. They're done.
When the age of TikTok videos, when videos can only be, about a minute tops, their attention span doesn't go past a minute. It's the high school kids, I feel bad for them because they're not going to be able to enjoy anything.
It must be these people behind whoever's programming AI. Short attention.
I see what you're doing here.
You see what I'm doing?
I got you.
Hey, let's take a look at a video.
See if you can pay attention, folks.
AI vid. Play it over twice, please, and then play it again and pause in the middle.
I'll just put it on a loop.
Okay.
Loopy will be loopy.
All right. So this is on loop right now?
This is what I'm seeing.
Okay. So I asked AI, and this is AI I pay for. This isn't the cheap stuff. I asked AI to build a video of me and my beautiful wife sitting at the beach, and there should be umbrella drinks on a table next to us. So take a look at the beautiful wife on the right. Nice blonde hair, small breastises, that's okay, but look at the legs.
And the 3 legs.
Meanwhile,
I'm looking at the hands.
yeah. Oh, we'll get to the hands. But meanwhile, the dude, me, on the other side, and you can tell it's a dude because that arm is hairy. I have beautifully toned legs. Continue the loop, Pete.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. So okay, pause it. All right, see that? That's a guy's arm, and I've got the woman's legs on the lounger, and then it's the exact opposite on the other side. Now take a look at how the arms are coming in too.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Isn't
Bent
that
the wrong way.
Yeah. That is funny. That is funny.
That's a pretty neat trick right there.
Yeah, now that we picked it apart, let's let it look.
Foot looks a little odd.
The what?
The foot on the left.
It's like somebody sitting behind you and pulling the drinks.
Yes, you're exactly.
Well, yeah,
right.
that's
On the
what it looks
right-hand
like
side,
with the
it's
drinks.
somebody behind
That's
you.
what I thought.
Yeah.
It looked
On the
like.
left-hand side, it looks like somebody's arms bent in a way it really shouldn't.
Yeah, that right foot on the man-woman
See
there.
the extra leg?
The toes are weird.
No, it's an extra leg. There's another leg sprouting out. See the extra leg? That's an extra leg down there. On the right
I'm
leg,
not
that's an extra
sure.
leg.
Yeah,
Okay,
it could-
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like it's
you
shooting
know,
through the heel.
Yes, it is.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, so AI will get better at some point in time.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird.
And every time I get a lousy effect, I can thumbs down it, and I can put in Y if I want, or I can click optional, multiple reasons.
That's got multiple reasons.
Oh yeah, it does.
That one really does. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I was shocked when that one was and it takes a couple of minutes to generate them each time, and it doesn't matter the speed of your internet or the speed of your computer. It's the speed of the mainframe that you're working at. You're paying for the generative powers of their computers in order to do this, and I think it ends up being 70 of these a month that I can build, and you build about. Yeah, I was going to get a plan that does 20. I'm like, I'll do the 70. I don't need the 200. I'll do the 70 because I might go a month I don't use it. But it takes 3, 4, 5 attempts to get a real idea of how you need to word it, and then you get a good result. Kind of like AI Dino. So in this case, and I love how they don't do sound because I love putting my own sound effects into things. The text I use was have a dinosaur walk through the downtown of a small middle America town with eagles flying around with laser beams coming out of their eyes, and put some flying saucers up in the sky. That was the criteria I gave it, and this is what it came up with.
That one's fun. I like this one.
They don't nail the laser beams very good.
Terrible.
It's fun. It's silly.
All the special effects operators I know are not going on to business anytime soon.
No,
Well,
no, God,
the,
no.
the lasers don't work.
Yeah, that's what I said. The laser beams aren't working. So then I would turn around and I'd probably use a different command, and I wouldn't include the laser beams, and then I could add them in myself if I wanted.
Although, play that again. Can I see that again? What is it supposed to be?
What is what supposed to be?
The dinosaur. What is it? Is it supposed to be any kind?
I just said dinosaur.
Yeah, it's not a very accurate.
I tried to do Godzilla, but it didn't want to listen to me.
It probably because there must be some kind of copyright.
Well, I use copyrighted things for other AI,
Okay.
and it didn't care.
Hmm.
I don't know.
It was
a little
rude.
scary.
How
All right.
rude. How rude.
All right.
That was fun.
But then, all right, if any of my viewers are 420 friendly, yeah, pay attention now. Yeah, stop what you're doing and pay attention to this one. Again, another attempt at AI. We're going to look at. All right, well, before we play it, let me tell you what the criteria was. All right. The criteria was have a dog and a cat playing a game of pool. Have a bunny as a commentator.
Oh, jeez.
There should be
Oh, no.
no. Have a bunny. Have a bunny filming it, there should be parrots in the background commentating, and it should take place in an old school type pool hall.
What were you smoking when you did this?
Gee, no field mice?
You know I have a very imaginative brain.
Again,
And
Question
I wasn't
taken.
drinking or smoking. I try to come up with the oddest, weirdest things possible just to see, just to push the system to see what would happen.
I think you made it.
So that was the criteria.
Okay.
So we're going to look at AI
All right.
pool. Okay, watch the cat on the. So the cat on the right, I think, starts off as a bunny, then a cat bunny, then a Chihuahua dog. I mean,
no, the Chihuahua turns into a bunny turns into a Chihuahua.
yeah, and then there's. I mean, isn't that
It
just
looks like
weird?
a cat to begin with, though.
It starts off as a cat,
Yeah.
but not with cat ears. It'll loop again. It has bunny ears, or straight up Chihuahua ears for all I know.
That's either a fat cat or a bunny.
Yeah. The cat on the left-hand side isn't all that bad. But, having the dog, on top of that shirt without any arms, I mean, that was weird.
At one point, yeah, he's got his paw on it, and then it's sort of he's got a paw on the on the cue.
Now, let me ask you, Peter, how many balls are typically on a pool table, not counting the cue ball?
I think it's 15. It's either 13 or 15. Yeah, I know. I noticed that right off the bat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of balls there.
Yeah, there are 2 6s I can see. There are 2 2s. I mean, yeah. So we're not there yet, folks. When you hear people say AI is going to take over, you'll be dead. And I'll be at the point where I just don't care anymore.
Well, that's an announcement I appreciate. You'll be dead. Okay. Those were interesting. Now, what are you going to do with the AI? What do you want to do with it? What do you see doing with it yourself?
I see it as a tool I can use once it gets better for doing like jump cuts when I'm editing something.
Doing like what?
When I want to do a scene transition on a video,
Okay, thank you.
and I don't have the appropriate B-roll, I
Yep.
can create my own B-roll to put in
gotcha.
its place.
I got you. Yep, that would work. That would work. I can see you using it in some of your videos.
I can also see it once it gets better, and I figure out how to make the next video the same as the first one, but with minor changes. Then I can loop 20 of them together and make a 1 minute long
Yep.
film.
See that?
That would be cool.
Peter, do you mess around with AI at all?
No.
I don't have the capability.
I started playing around with AI over a year ago when it came out as beta with Photoshop. And that at that point you could add something to the picture. And then a few years or a few months later, you could tell it to actually create a scene. Now the AI that Adobe's using for just image creation, it's good. I can still tell it's AI by looking at it, but their image AI is much better than this video stuff we've been looking at. So, you see these ads on social media or, on the interwebs. Okay, create your own AI content, one-time charge of $30 or $40, whatever. The systems can't be any better than this is Adobe for crying out loud. It's an industry standard.
Right.
They've been, and technically, okay, I will say it's Adobe Firefly, but it is still beta. It's not a finished product right now.
Okay.
It's beta.
Okay.
In all
Well, we'll
fairness,
look forward
okay?
to more.
In all fairness, I'm not a beta tester. I'm paying to use it. They don't
Yeah,
pay
but
me.
bring us some more.
Yeah.
Make us some more. I've seen a couple of those. I saw the first one. I think you had that up. You put that up, or did you send it to me? Because I did see that.
Oh, I
poster.
posted the one at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
Yeah, I figured I had to post it because that was going to be good for a couple of laughs.
It was pretty funny. Nothing like having a. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning.
Am I boring you that much?
No. No, I think
Do,
it's the
do I have to have
rainy day.
Pete play Cashmere?
No. We're getting there.
Another 2 hours of my life gone by.
Gone. You're never going to get it back.
No, I'm not. Well, you never get anything back.
Dum, dum, dum.
Twilight Zone. Here we come.
Yeah,
Sprinkles, squirrel.
Yeah. 2 cruises coming up, and then I'm home for the summer.
Okay.
Me too.
I am working with one of our mutual friends again this year with Lights and Sound. So a lot of great things coming down the pike. I don't want to spill any beans right now, but a lot to be looking forward to summer-wise. And it works out good because I'm actually in town in the summer. I
have to work in the summer.
I don't cruise in the summer because A, it's hot
Is
where I'm going, and the kiddos are out of school. And it's considered one of their peak periods. I'm like, really? It's hot. Well, it's not peak. It's not hot. At Bimini. I mean, yeah, it's 95 instead of 85. But
There's also winds on those islands too.
Yeah.
Keeps it fairly cool.
Yeah. So, I'm usually in
Fair.
town in the summer. I'm going to go to a 2-day convention, but and then I have to go to Vegas to update all my player cards.
What are you doing with your pool? You said you were going to make some
Yeah, the
changes.
pool is going to be opened up this year, and typically I end up bitching and complaining about the temperature. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have a solar cover. I get sun 40% of it, blah, 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 blah. And last year, August, I lost most of August because
I remember that.
the pool was under 80 degrees.
Yep.
So there are no longer branches in my backyard that are going to be blocking the sun from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, what happened?
They were cut down.
They're gone.
They're gone. They went
Excellent.
bye-bye.
Excellent.
Which
You got rid of the tree, right?
trees. Yeah. Yeah. It was a situation that I really couldn't walk away from. Well, one of them was diseased. One of them had a dead limb, and I was able to make them go away.
Good.
So
Good job.
now I have sun that's fit in that pool 85% of the day. Nice.
Good.
And it's hitting
Hopefully
it in the
it'll stay
morning,
warm.
so it's going to be heating everything up, and you get in the afternoon, and it'll be perfect. And I'm not going to have to put solar panels and a bigger pump on. Yeah, I was going to do that. I was going to put solar panels on top of my garage and run some piping down to use this, the solar panels to heat the pool. But I think with those branches gone,
Should work. When do people around here open their pools? When is it warm enough?
End of
I
May.
have a pool. Okay. So you're going to wait till the end of May to do it? And you can keep it up for how long?
it's usually good till the second week or so of September.
Okay.
And then by then, the algae starts getting out of control, and it's
All right. Well, I hope it works.
it's a depressing time of year.
Because it's getting cold.
I'm gonna have to send myself on a cruise the end of September.
Definitely.
If I don't have the pool anymore, I'm gonna have to go on a boat.
It'll be months.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on another boat after this one in May. I'm not gonna be on another boat until
Get on a
Halloween.
float in the middle of your thing and pretend. Just get on a float, get a drink, put a
Halloween.
little umbrella in it.
Halloween, I'm on Royal Caribbean.
God, on Halloween.
On Halloween, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do a costume or not, but
Oh, yes, you have to.
I might.
You
I don't know.
have to. Come
I
on.
don't know.
Fix you up.
You
I
don't have
love
anything that'll
costumes.
fit me. Yeah, Halloween on a cruise ship. That'll be interesting. I can, and if during the week, which means there won't be many kiddos, school's in session, and that's why I avoid. I almost went on one.
We seem to have a theme going for that.
Yeah, I almost went on a scheduled one for Christmas this coming.
Oh,
December.
really?
I almost, and then I'm like, I asked around and I started talking, and because I'm not dumb, I did my due diligence and I got on the interwebs and I just spent a lot of time. But people bring their kids to these Christmas
Oh, God,
sailings.
yes. Oh,
And, you
yeah.
know, they have Santa
That's a-
Claus and
Yep.
presents and,
Christmas carols.
yeah. And I thought, okay, well, you know, if it's old-fashioned, maybe I'd carolers fine. But then, you know, I'm reading, you know, on a ship of 3,500 people, there's 1,000 children.
Oh, I don't think you'd like that, honey. No, 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 no.
No, I don't even like to hear them or see them splashing around the pool. So I ended up December. It's like the second and a half week of December. Like I get back a week before Christmas. I'm on another one then. Oh, and then I didn't tell you. I've got another one scheduled for the end of January and the end of February right now.
Of course you
And
do.
they're all on different lines.
How many are you taking all year long? How many cruises will you have gone in 225?
Just 2025?
Yep.
Okay.
That's too funny.
Huh?
Stop
He's got a
it.
ton of them, yeah.
You think so, Peter?
Half a dozen?
Oh, dear God.
And there was one last year, and there's
And wait now,
two
Pete,
already coming up in 26.
do you remember when we tried to tell him he would like cruises?
Oh, he said, I'll hate them.
I wouldn't like it. I don't think
I'll
I'd like
hate
I
it.
said, I don't
I
think
like
I'd
it
like
in
it. And I have to
Vegas.
tell you, I dreaded half of my time when I was on Sun Princess the other week.
I remember
The,
that.
the second sea day, I wanted to jump off the freaking ship.
I remember that.
See, I love sea days.
But
I do
not,
too.
not with all the geriatrics on this
Hey.
case. No. It was horrible. My skin was starting to itch and bubble.
All right, I'm gonna go get my walker now.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Yeah.
mind.
And you know what? I ended up, I was down for the count for a week and a half. I felt sickness coming on the last morning I woke up. And it's because those old blue hairs, when they have to cough, they have both of their hands on their scooter and their walker, and they just cough into the air because
they're not
they're
blue,
afraid
by
they're-
the way, nowadays. They're usually purple.
they're gonna fall
Or they're
down.
coffee bean brown number 40.
They're gonna fall down if they take their hands off the walker, so they just cough into the air.
Good one, Peter.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'm still getting over a cold. I legitimately had a cough.
yeah, he's isolated in that other room over there, though.
I had that stupid cough for over a month, Peter. When I
Oh,
had
I
that-
know.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
I mean, I've traveled, 10, 12, 14, 16 times since I got sick with that COVID in 2020. And this was the first time that I got sick traveling, and it was from the old tarts on the Sun Princess.
Jessica, we had COVID coming home. I think it was the flights. I don't think it was the ship. I think it was the flights.
Yeah, I know for a fact this was the ship, because that morning when I was disembarking, that's when I started to feel it. I'm just happy it held off until that last day.
I feel badly for anyone that was flying with us because apparently we had it or didn't. I didn't know. I had no idea. It was a couple days before I came down with it.
Yeah, just test when you get home and not before. You won't have a conscience.
You don't have it if you don't test.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Yeah, speeding isn't illegal unless you're caught, right?
That could be too. That could be too. That's quite a bit. That's a good one.
Hey, look, I wish I
didn't
could
know
tell
it
you
was
the next time I'll be in here, but I don't even know that.
Well, before we go, make sure you buy your tickets to see Disaster, Westfield Theater Group, 28 Court Street. I think it's 572-6838 to call, but we don't take reservations on the phone. Just go online at Westfield Theater Group and you will find the reservations.
Do you have any shows coming up?
I don't have anything myself. I do have my summer program. So, folks, if you have kids out there, it involves children. I'm sorry. It involves children, Ken.
I won't be around them. That's
If
fine.
you have any children out there that are interested in theater or looking for something different to do, we take ages 9 and up. We run 2 two-week sessions. I'm not exactly sure where it will be. It runs from 9 to 12 in the morning. We have a couple sites that we're looking at, but we will definitely let you know shortly. And they take all that information at Westfield Park and Recreations. I believe that the brochure came out. So if you're not interested in theater, there are a couple other programs. They have spring programs that you can sign up for, and they have summer programs. They have all-day programs during the summer, part-time. They have arts, they have music, they have theater, they have all kinds of sports programs. So go on the Park and Rec website and look it all up. I do have auditions coming up. I have auditions coming up for The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It is a musical. It will be our fall show, and the musical director is Daniel Adamonte. And our auditions, I believe, are the 12th, 13th, and 15th of May. And for more information, go on the Westfield Theater Group website. We are a department of the Westfield Women's Club. Beep, this message will delete.
And that brings us to the top of the hour.
There you go.
See you next time.